from the Georgia WeatherNet Storm Center. Live severe weather coverage starts right now.
Hey, good evening. I'm meteorologist KJ Allen in the Georgia WeatherNet 24/7 Storm Center. The time is 6:31. We are bringing you live coverage with severe thunderstorm warnings that we have, quite a few as a matter of fact, and we'll go ahead and kind of get you covered on all of that. We have no tornado warnings right now, but the National Weather Service using some pretty strong language with this particular storm system that is moving over I-85 around Jackson County, Jefferson, moving toward Athens, down into Monroe, heading toward Morgan County, and continuing to track to the southeast, calling this, and this is the words from the National Weather Service, a extremely dangerous situation. So strong straight line winds associated with this line of thunderstorms, up to 70-mile-an-hour straight line winds, and penny-sized hail. So hail is not the biggest concern, but we are picking up the possibility of some hail with this storm system in Jackson County. So we can kind of zoom in here a little bit and go a little bit closer into going to be just right over Jefferson, starting to head toward Hoshton and heading down 129, continuing to move in toward the southeast corner of Jackson County around South Jackson Elementary School. Again, the storm moving to the southeast fairly quickly at 50 miles per hour, but producing that very heavy rainfall. Again, possibility of some hail, but it's those strong straight line winds. As a matter of fact, we're looking right here. Look how this storm is just kind of bulging out there to the southeast. Let me pause this just to give you an indication of where the strongest winds are right now, starting to move in to northwest Oconee County, heading toward Watkinsville. We can see heading down into Walton County as well, with this bulging part of the storm just crossed through Bogart. So those winds are really going to be picking up right now. Other side of Bogart, around the mall in Athens, and then into Athens itself. And then also looking at a little inflow notch here starting to come in. Again, we're not seeing any real significant rotation, and I'll take a look at that here on the radar just to confirm. But these storms are just moving so quick, it's really hard to get anything. Yeah, we have some very, very broad rotation up in just to the west of Commerce, up around Jackson Banks County line. But this is very, very broad. But that's an indicator that the storm is very strong and is capable of producing that hail and the straight line winds. But very, very heavy rain with this as well. So we have other severe thunderstorm warnings. This big one right here, this big block, which we'll go through all the counties in just a second, goes until 7 o'clock this evening. We also had this warning that pushes into North Metro Atlanta, goes right to downtown, the north end perimeter, and then westbound out toward southern Floyd County and Polk County. That goes until 6:45 this evening. But these storms, yeah, we got some gusty winds there, and those winds are starting to move into downtown Atlanta right now. And really that wind boundary, that it's kind of an outflow moving ahead of the storm, is well ahead of the storm. So you're going to start picking up that wind before you even see one single drop of rain or you even hear any thunder at all. So some very gusty winds now, Atlanta, and then south side of town, beginning to head down toward the airport as well. But the heavy rain still up in Cobb County, over Smyrna, and in Marietta. So let's take a look at our big severe thunderstorm warned area here. This goes for central DeKalb County, Gwinnett County, Clark County, eastern Hall County, Jackson County, Madison County, northeastern Newton, northeastern Rockdale, all of Oconee and Barrow, northwestern Morgan County, Banks County, Walton County, and northwestern Oglethorpe County. So yeah, that is a big area. But it is a big storm, as you can see, and really the multi-cells. This is going to be your strongest part of the cell right here, continuing to move into southern Jackson County, starting to move into North Clark County and around Athens. And we have another cell that's picking up here just above Comer. So we're getting into Madison County. That's going to continue to track toward the southeast as well, heading toward the Elbert County line. We do have a new severe thunderstorm warning now for South Metro Atlanta, and this is going to go until 7 o'clock. And let me get the text on that from the Weather Service. Here we go. So still not updating on all of our products here, but this is going to be for southern Rockdale County, southern DeKalb County, northeastern Douglas County, northern Henry County, south central Fulton County, northern Clayton County, and central Newton County until 7 o'clock. Doppler radar indicating that storm over La Vista, just really right over Atlanta, continuing to move southeast at about 50 miles per hour. So with this part of the storm system here in the South Metro, you can expect those 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts as well as penny-size hail. So that's really an extension of our severe thunderstorm warning that we had covering Atlanta, northbound, so that's going to continue to push South Metro south of I-20. But our big storm system here that we're going to watch, again, we usually only break in with live coverage here on the Georgia Weather Net with tornado warnings. We do not have any tornado warnings on the map. We have not had any all day today. I've been tracking the storms as they moved in from Middle Tennessee, moved into East Tennessee, and then started moving across the mountains in North Georgia. We've not had a single spin up at all day long, and we don't expect to have any. Now remember, any severe thunderstorm, it is going to be a circulating storm. The overall circulation, there is that possibility in there that a tornado could spin up, but we haven't seen it so far today, and most of the ingredients are not there in the atmosphere to really help get that spin up going. We don't have a lot of wind shear going on today, but we just have a lot of instability. All that heat and humidity that we've experienced all day today has helped fuel the atmosphere for these storms to move through, and this is actually just part of the kind of a weak frontal system that's pushed through, so that just enough of a lift gets these storms fired up. So that's why we're experiencing these storms today. But we've had numerous severe thunderstorm warnings up in parts of North Georgia. They started moving in around Dade and Walker County, and then continue to push down to the southeast. We had kind of almost a lone cell. It was actually a couple of cells together, but they were all by themselves that moved in over Hiawassee and then started dropping down in toward Cleveland and White County and toward Dahlonega and Lumpkin County. And that's really what's left of this right here. So that cell kind of joined up with the rest of the line that moved in from northwest Georgia. And so they're all working together now and producing really a cluster of severe thunderstorms. We call this a MCS with those multiple cells that all come together and bring us some very strong to severe thunderstorms. So wind is really going to be our big concern with this part of the edge right here from Athens down into Watkinsville. You can see the storm is bulging out, so that's an indicator that we do have that wind pushing through. And just kind of looking for what we're looking for is kind of a weak area on the backside of the system, a rear inflow, and that could be right in here. I may look at some of the upper layers here of the radar scan just to see if we have a better shot. Yeah, possibly a little rear inflow. So that's going to be the wind pushing in from the backside, pushing the storm forward, and that's why you have that bulge effect right there. We call that a bow echo. And it's a good sign that we have those strong winds. So we've had reports earlier today of wind gusts up to 58 miles per hour up around the Dalton area. So that was officially reported at the Dalton Airport. And some wind damage has also been reported in parts of northwest Georgia. Georgia Power now saying 100,000 customers without power. Gwinnett County about 31,000 without power. Fulton County 13,000. DeKalb County 12,000. And Cherokee County with 11,000 people. So mainly downtown Atlanta and then northbound into the North Metro of Atlanta is where we have most of those power outages. But again, about 100,000 folks without power according to Georgia Power. Just looking at some other wind damage reports, multiple trees down in Catoosa County around Beaumont. And let's see, we have, some pretty big trees in Cumming, Forsyth County, that are reported down, and some damage to a home there in Forsyth County with a tree about a foot in diameter that came down as a result of those strong straight line winds. Report coming out of Hall County now, Flowery Branch, with multiple trees down near Lights Ferry Road in Flowery Branch. So got to take this very, very seriously. Again, no tornadoes. It doesn't look like we're going to have a tornado threat from these storms as they continue to move through. But when you get hit by a 70-mile-an-hour straight line wind, that can do just as much damage, especially to carports and other sort of light objects, outbuildings, storage buildings, and of that nature. So you need to secure any objects that you have outside, any trash cans you may have out by the road if you are ahead of this. So looking downstream in the South Oconee County, in the Oglethorpe County, and then even down in toward the lake country, heading toward Madison, Greensboro. Need to be ready for this storm to be moving through, and we'll be producing some strong straight line winds. So severe thunderstorm warning in effect for 7 o'clock. I'm not going to repeat all the counties and bore you to death with that again, but again, Jackson County here, Jefferson, moving into Athens, Clark, and then down into Walton County. We have a severe thunderstorm warning that was kind of extended the other warning we had for the North Metro Atlanta counties. That goes until 7 o'clock, and that's going to cover the South Metro all the way down into Covington and Morrow, and even as far east over into New Bern. So big, a lot of thunderstorms going on here. Let me zoom out just to kind of give you the big picture, and I'll put the radar up on the screen, full screen, so you can see what we're looking at here. Very quiet in middle and south Georgia. Everything right now is above I-20, starting to break through I-20 now is right into the Atlanta area with that heavy rainfall. Maybe some hail there too, just west of the downtown connector. Let me just kind of take a look at, we have a hail indicator. See if we can get anything popping up here to give us any size. Not going to be severe hail, but there is some pretty strong reflectivity coming in west of the downtown connector in Fulton County and Atlanta, so maybe picking up some hail there. Also possibility of some hail just to the south of Commerce. So right here could be a hail core as well. And then this storm continues to show strength, now moving to the southeast, or southwest rather, moving southeast, but southwest of Bowman. This is going to be around Paoli Junction. And moving in toward the Elbert County line. So we probably will see the warnings extended into the rest of Oglethorpe County. We may see those warnings extended into Elbert County as well, and then looking down into Greene County, we could see these warnings. So this has really been one after another. These started in Tennessee as they moved across the state line into Georgia. The Weather Service went ahead and started extending those warnings out. And it's just been continuous. We haven't had any breaks with this particular line whatsoever. So if you're just joining us here on the Georgia Weather Net, we're tracking severe weather moving through metro Atlanta, also stretching out to the east into Athens. All this moving to the southeast. We'll put the radar in motion so you can get a little better view of this. And these are some pretty fast moving storms, moving around 50 miles per hour. Again, mainly to the southeast. We see a few pop-up storms ahead of this in Wilkes County, and we saw a few of those little pop-up storms right ahead of the main line move into Athens too before the storm really got going and fired up. So if you are in the path of these storms, you need to go ahead and treat this with the most caution. Go ahead and get into a secure building. A site-built home or building. 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts can do some significant damage, so you don't want to be driving around in an automobile when these storms roll in, and certainly high-profile vehicles will have a major problem when it comes to these strong straight-line winds. All right, new, let's see, severe thunderstorm watch is going to be extended, and let me see if we can get the info on that. And this is going to go until, I think, 1 a.m., so we'll wait for the full information to come out on that. Let me pop up what we have right now in terms of our severe thunderstorm watch area. It was issued a little bit earlier today for parts of North Georgia, and that has been canceled. So from Dade County, covering Whitfield, Murray County, all the way over to Towns County, that has been dropped. But our severe thunderstorm watch remains in effect for Rome, for Atlanta, really north of I-20, over to Toccoa, Athens, and down into Washington. And I think